और जतिन कैसा है?
बस सर बढ़िया। बताओ।
क्या चला, नाश्ता वास्ता हो गया?
हाँ सर, तरबूज खा रहे हैं।
हम्म।
आपका सर?
हो गया भाई, आलू पराठे।
और सर कैसे हैं भाभी वगैरह?
ठीक है, कल उनका पहला डायलिसिस हुआ है।
कल है?
कल हो गया रात को।
अच्छा, हो गया।
हम्म।
अभी क्या लेवल्स हैं फिर उसके,
अभी
यूरिया वगैरह के?
नहीं नहीं, अभी मेरी बात भी नहीं हुई है।
तो वो राजस्थान में है कहीं और है?
हाँ, राजस्थान उदयपुर में ही है।
अच्छा।
हम्म। कहाँ गए रे, बाकी के आए नहीं?
पता नहीं सर।
हम्म।
पता नहीं सर, आएंगे कि नहीं आएंगे।
पहले वाली क्लास में कितने थे?
पहले वाली क्लास की नहीं सर मैंने।
नहीं हुई? किसकी थी?
एनालिसिस की थी, मेरे एंटर नहीं हो पाया, मेरा कनेक्शन ही नहीं चल रहा था।
नहीं नहीं, बाकी हुई क्यों
कनेक्ट
नहीं
ही नहीं
हुई?
हो रहा था मेरा। वही तो थी सर, मेरा कनेक्ट नहीं हुआ नेट।
हम्म।
मतलब बहन की भी क्लासेस होती है ना, तो वो भी पूरा
हम्म।
टाइम नेट पे ही होती है, तो फिर थोड़ा दिक्कत आ जाती है कनेक्शन में।
बराबर।
अभी देखते हैं। हमारा तो वैसे आपको बताया था ना मैंने कि सोच रहे हैं कि जब तक कि सर ये कह रहे थे कि जो लोग एंटर नहीं हो पाते हैं, जिनकी सच में नेट की प्रॉब्लम है,
हम्म।
वो लोग के लिए तो मिस ही होगा।
हम्म।
और जो लोग एंटर करते हैं वो लोग भी ऑलमोस्ट सब लोग खाली एंटर ही करते हैं अटेंडेंस के लिए, बाकी अपना अपना काम
वो
करते
तो
हैं।
सही है यार।
तो फिर अब कि बच्चों को सोच के टीचर तो पढ़ा के चला जाएगा, तो उनके हिसाब से तो सिलेबस ओवर। फिर हम लोगों के
हम्म।
लिए दिक्कत हो जाएगी बाद में। तो वही कह
हम्म।
रहे थे कि ये जब तक थोड़ा चेंज नहीं होता तब तक क्लासेस अटेंड करनी चाहिए कि नहीं करनी चाहिए, तो उसी बारे में डिस्कस हो रहा था।
अभी बात हुई आपकी, वो हरिप्रसाद सर ने बात किया?
नहीं कि सर, किसी ने बात नहीं की।
हम्म।
प्रिंसिपल सर ने भी नहीं रिप्लाई किया।
ठीक है, कोई नहीं। देखता हूँ मैं।
हम्म।
Okay, let it be. Let them join. We'll start. Okay, because we should not waste our time. See, in last class we have discussed about the some of the definition which are involving into the drug and cosmetic act and rules. Okay, so we have seen drugs like new drug, proprietary and patent drug. Okay, spurious drug, adulterated drug, manufactured, cosmetic. Okay, so all this we have discussed. Okay, so you have to be just specific with the drug which or definition, like which definition pertaining to what. Like you should not have the confusion between the spurious drug and adulterated and misbranded drug. Okay, all three are different. So therefore, like that day when I explain about this definition, I gave you some pictorial examples. See how it could be a make how it make the difference. Okay. See, that day we have seen one of the example of that spurious drug. Okay, they look similar with the some of the branded drug. Okay, but how you can make difference? See, when you see the packaging of any branded drug or which are already moving into the market, so you see that particular drug packaging, and if you find some suspicious drug in your hand, like you think that this drug might not be that exactly what you are looking for, so you can identify between packaging and label, and sometimes it can be having the difference in the spelling of that particular drug. Okay, so you can make the difference over there. Okay, so this is what we have seen. Okay, then we have discussed about the new drug. Okay, so new drug is what? Like new drug is that which has until unless it has not been into any of standard book. Okay, like IP, USP and all those things. Okay, but they are only into a clinical trial, in the human clinical trial. Okay, so this is what make the difference of this about the drug. Okay, so like we have seen, I think you have remember, see, one of the Indian manufacturer, Hyderabad based biotech, Bharat Biotech. Okay, so for that, they develop one vaccine. From that, yesterday they get approval from DGCI for the human clinical trial. If hopefully if everything is going smooth, so India is the first country who will launch the COVID vaccine. Okay, so this is what, like, generally I just discussed it. So we'll come to here. See, there are schedules. Okay, so schedules of the Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940, like they have two schedules specially. Okay, schedules of the Drug and Cosmetic. See, first schedule of the act, nothing but they're having the list of authoritative books of Ayurvedic, Siddha and Unani system of medicine. Okay, and second schedule of the act deal with the compile with the imported drug manufacture of sale, stock or exhibited for sale or distributed. Okay, so you remember first schedule only deal with the authoritative books of Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, not at all allopathy. Okay, only Ayurveda, Siddha and Unani. And second schedule deal with the all the standards for the allopathy drug, like which could be imported or exported, manufacturing, sale, distributing. For all these things, they will mention. Okay, these are the schedules of the Drug and Cosmetic Act. See, now we are seeing the schedules to the rules. Okay, they are drug and, just don't get confused. Okay, so they are the schedules of the DMC. Okay, now schedules to the rule 1945 you have to remember. Okay, see, there are, you have to be specific with all this. Okay, so schedule A. Okay, so schedule A deal with the specimens of the prescribed forms for making application for license issue and renewal of license, for sending memorandum, etc. Okay, so schedule A mainly deals with the different kind of forms which will require for the any kind of application for licenses, any kind of license. It could be a license for the retail sale, wholesale, distribution or export, import. Okay, manufacturing, any kind of license. So this will come under the schedule A. And then apart from that, after making application, your that government or authority body will issue the your license, which will be also come under the schedule A. And renewal of license. Okay, so as you know, like every pharmacist, okay, who once get the license, that person need to be renewal after a year or after a 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, all those time they need to renewal. So all this will be covered under the schedule A. Okay, next we'll have the schedule B. Okay, so schedule B nothing but it involves the rate of fees for test or analysis by the central drug laboratory, state drug laboratory. Okay, Vani, could you please unmute yourself? Okay, so this involves schedule B is nothing but rate of fees for test or analysis by the central drug laboratory or state drug laboratory. For example, pyrogen testing. So they are having the price list of 500 rupees. Okay, bioassay of antibiotic, that is nothing but INR 400 rupees. Okay, so these are our standard amount, okay, which has been fixed by the government. Okay, so they cannot ask more than the this like what is the pyrogen testing? Anyone know, guys? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Okay. See, pyrogen testing nothing but it will be done to identify whether whether your standard compound, whatever you are manufacturing, it will be having the proper isotonicity or not. See, when we perform this test, okay, suppose if this test or whatever the compound which are not been accurate, okay, so it may lead to the hyperthermia, means increase in the body temperature. So this test particularly will do on the rabbit. Okay, so what will do, whatever the substance or compound we have, we dissolve in water, we'll give via the parenteral route and will identify if any, like any specific solution, if it is a not hygienic or it contains some of the harmful or harmful bacteria or anything, so it may lead to the increase in the temperature of that particular rabbit. Okay, so therefore it is we perform the pyrogen testing. And bioassay of antibiotic you can perform with the help of some of the tissue, or sometime what you can do, you can perform with the help of some of the media. Okay, like some of the nutrient media will be there, so there you will get the zone of inhibition, okay, minimum inhibitory concentration or all those things. So like for you, I think you have done in your microbiology or not, you will get some of the gentamicin kind of antibiotic. You will see where how much zone of inhibition was there. You will compare with the non treated or non bacterial media. So all these things will you perform as per the schedule B. Okay, the next one is the most important one, that is schedule C and C1. Okay, so this schedule C and C1 deals with the list of biological products and other special products whose import, manufacture, sale and distribution are governed by special provision. Okay, so all biological, either it could be a vaccine, sera, any parental product, okay, so which require special provision. Okay, so for that it will cover under the schedule C. Okay, the next you have list of biological special product like ophthalmic, parenteral, sterile, whose import, manufacture, sale and distribution are governed by the special provision. Okay, next you have that in this list of special products like liver special products like digitalis, adrenaline, liver extract and vitamins, antibiotic, hormone preparation other than injection, whose import, manufacture, sale and distribution are governed by the special provision. So this schedule C and C1 cover three aspects of the substance, like first of all the list of biological product and list of biological other than and apart from that special product like ophthalmic, parenteral and sterile product. And third thing, apart from that biological, some of the extract like liver extract, adrenaline, okay, prepare vitamins, antibiotic, hormone, all this will be covered under the schedule C and C1. So schedule A, nothing but specimen of the prescribed form of for making application for issue license issue and renewal of the license. For schedule B, rate of fees for the test or analysis fixed by the central drug laboratory or state drug laboratory. Schedule C and C1 nothing but list of biological products and other special products and ophthalmic, parenteral, liver extract, vitamins, antibiotic, hormone, and other than injection, whose import, manufacture, sale, and distribution are governed by the special provision. Okay. Then you have Schedule D. Okay, so Schedule D is deal with list of drugs that are exempted from certain provision that are applicable to the import of drug. Okay, so in this you have certain list of drug which can be exempted, like whatever the import duty or any other taxes, levy duty, all this thing will be there. From that they are exempted. Okay, so this will come under the Schedule D. Okay, then you have Schedule D1. So registration of the manufacturer is authorized agent for the import of drugs and to use further in manufacturing. Okay, so here you will get the license number or registration for the any manufacturer. So what are the substance, okay, which are exempted from the uh, any kind of duty or any kind of import duty, so that particular substance they can get, and or you can say they can get the particular raw material and they can use for the further in the manufacturing. Okay, then schedule D2, so registration of bulk drug formulation special products for its imports in India. Okay, then Schedule E, it is actually omitted, means it's removed in the June 1982. So list of exemption to certain allopathic poisonous substances. Okay, so this has been omitted. Okay, so but you have, still has to be remembered that some of the poisonous or allopathic poisonous substance which are exempted from the in the list. Okay, then schedule E1, so list of poisonous substance which are covered under the Ayurveda, Siddha and Unani system, and drugs of plant origin, drugs of animal origin and drugs of mineral origin. So you can take one of the example of plant origin like Atropa belladonna, okay, digitalis, datura. Okay, so this all can be a poisonous substance. Okay, so these all are been exempted. Okay, and plant or and animal origin, you can say many of extract preparation for the from the various organ. Okay, so this can be omitted. So we have here schedule D, D1, D2, E, E1. D nothing but list of drugs which are exempted from certain provision which are applicable to the import of drugs. Schedule D1 nothing but registration of manufacturer or is any kind of authoritative agent of drugs and to use further in the manufacturing. Schedule D2 nothing but registration of bulk drug formulation or special product for is import into India. Okay, then you have schedule E, which has been omitted. It will have that list of exemption of certain allopathic poisonous substances. Okay. Then you have list of poisonous substances under Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani. Okay. So this all will be there. So we have seen certain schedule. Okay. So you can see this schedule A, B, C and C1, D and D1, D2, E and E1. Okay, we'll move next. Schedule F and F1. Okay, so these are applicable to the special provision regarding the production, testing, storage, packing and labeling of biological and other special products. Okay, so the schedule F especially for the equipment supply of good manufacturing practices, standard operating procedures, sterile air classification, master formula records, quality assurance for blood banks, blood donation, all this will come cover under the schedule F. Okay, and schedule F1, that is nothing but special provision which are applicable to the vaccine, anti-sera and diagnostic antigen in respect of production, testing, storing and labeling and packaging. Okay, so what are all these product? Okay, if you have into your mind like how they will be product, how their production will be done, how they storage, so all this will cover under the schedule F and F1. See, we are here just discussing what are schedules and what they are uh, under what they will come. Okay, and what are the products will be there. Okay, see, when you go in a detail, so each schedule having there is own kind of chapter. Okay, so you will see there what are the requirement, what are the rules and regulation pertaining to the schedule A, schedule B, schedule C and C1. For your purpose, it is just given in a very concise and very smaller way, and just you need to understand like in schedule F, if something, if question will be there, describe schedule F and F1. Okay, so you need not to mention there any other thing, only you have to write like special provision which are applicable to the production, testing, storage, packaging and labeling of biological and other special products. So here you can see there are nothing but special provision applicable to the production. And schedule C and C1, you should not get confused. Okay, schedule C and C1, special provision for import, manufacturing of the that biological product. Okay, here you have special provision applicable to the production, testing, storage, packing and labeling of biological and other special product. Okay, so should not get confused between the schedule C and C1 and schedule F and F1. Okay, then you have schedule F2. Okay, these are nothing but standards for surgical dressing. Okay, then schedule F3, these are for standard for umbilical tabs. Okay, and schedule FF and schedule
ఇప్పుడు
F,
నీళ్ళు పోసుకుంటానమ్మా.
schedule F and F4, nothing but it will be having for the details for the standard, not for the ophthalmic preparation. Okay, so schedule F and F1 for the biological and other product, F2 for surgical dressing, F3 standards for umbilical tabs. Okay, and
దాంట్లో లేవా?
F4 details of standard ophthalmic preparation. Vani, could you mute yourself? Okay. Then we have schedule G. Okay, so schedule G nothing but list of substances that are required to be used under medical supervision and which are labeled to be accordingly. Example, aminopterin, ethosuximide, phenoramine, etc. Okay, so here some of these are the only few example. Okay, you have list of substances which are required to be consumed under the medical supervision. Okay, because they might be having the some of the toxicity. Okay, or some of the allergy to the any person who are consuming this substance. Okay, therefore this substance will come under the schedule G. Okay, then you have schedule H. Okay, so schedule H nothing but list of substance that should be sold by retail only on the prescription of RMP, registered medical practitioner. For example, diclofenac, ciprofloxacin, ranitidine, and most of the list of substance you will get. See, whenever you buy any drug or normally any product, okay, so you see on their labeling in the one box they will mention schedule H. It will be consumed under the prescription of registered medical practitioner prescription only. Okay, but as you know, this diclofenac and most of the drug like non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, antipyretic drug, analgesic drug. Okay, so they have mentioned the precaution. Okay, but still they are being product of the over the counter. Okay, so whenever you will go to take any tablet for headache, you will get directly from the any medical store. Okay, so you do not require the prescription. But if you go as per the rules, you require prescription for a headache tablet also. Okay, so this is what come under the schedule H. Okay, then you have schedule I, which again has been omitted in the 1982. It will particular regarding calculation of proportion of poisons. Okay, so these are the again the for the special list of product which require certain amount of poison for the any kind of treatment. So this has been omitted. Okay, then schedule J. Okay, so schedule J is the one of the again important schedule which is nothing but the certain person, okay, or certain companies which claims that any disease or ailment for which a drug may not purport or cure or make claims to the prevent or cure. For example, HIV, angina pectoris, okay, or many myocardial infarction, atherosclerosis, many of diseases are there. So for them, you cannot make any claim that from taking this particular drug it may cure. Okay, it only be controllable. Okay, as you guys know, like if certain person has the HIV, okay, and that still at present if we are talking, there is no any drug which can cure the HIV. Only with the help of antiviral drug you can prolong or extend the life of the person. Okay, it can be only control. Okay, as you know, like if any person who had HIV, so they may have developed the immunosuppressant. Okay, so apart from again that if immunosuppression is there, they are more prone for the any infectious diseases, for example, or any contagious diseases. For example, you can take tuberculosis. Okay, so many of patient, okay, who has developed the HIV, they may have also, or you can say they have comorbid condition like tuberculosis. Okay, so for that particular kind of thing, you cannot claim that we are having this kind of drug which will be curing your this kind of situation. Okay, so you need to remember. So schedule, we have seen schedule G, nothing but list of substance which are required to be taken under the medical supervision. Okay, and schedule H, nothing. Okay, then we have schedule I, which has been omitted. Okay, and nothing but these are having covering the portion which are required for the calculation of proportion of poison into a certain drugs. Okay, then you have schedule J, nothing but disease or alignment which a drug may not purport or cure or make claims to prevent or cure. Okay, for example, HIV or angina pectoris, many other kind of diseases. Okay, then you have schedule K. Okay, so schedule K, nothing but list of drugs that are exempted from certain provision relating to the manufacturing of drug. Okay, so this is for the manufacturing of drug. Okay, and whereas you have seen in the schedule D, that is nothing but list of drugs that are exempted from the import of the drugs from the certain provision. Okay, then schedule L, which again has been omitted into 1982, which cover the list of certain prescription drug. Okay, so now most of the drug are prescription drug, and they are covered under the schedule H, schedule X. Okay, okay, so will come under this that thing, and so all this thing, because of that it has been omitted. Okay, then schedule M. Okay, schedule M, nothing but good manufacturing practice and requirement of factory premises, plant and equipments. Okay, so good manufacturing practice and requirement of factory premises, plant and equipments in overall. Okay, now we'll have the specific for what. See, schedule M1 will be for the manufacture of homeopathic drugs, schedule M2 for manufacture of the cosmetic. Okay, schedule M3 nothing but for manufacturing of medical devices. Okay, so all these three, M1, M2, M3, manufacture of homeopathy, cosmetic and medical device. For all these things, what are the good manufacturing practice and requirement you require for the premise and plant equipment, which will be covered under this schedule. Okay, so schedule K, nothing but with list of drugs that are exempted from the certain provision which are relating to the manufacture of drug. Schedule L, which has been omitted in June 1982, nothing but list of certain prescription drugs. M, GMP and requirement of factory premises, plant and equipment. M1 for the manufacture of homeopathy. M2 for manufacture of cosmetic. M3 for manufacture of medical device. Okay, so these are these schedules. Then you have that schedule N, nothing but list of minimum equipment for efficient running of pharmacy. Okay, so this schedule N you will study in detail further. Okay, so what are the minimum requirement for a pharmacy to open a pharmacy? That is 10 by 10 square meter. Okay, means nearby 100 square feet you require the minimum space, and then you require the refrigerator fees. If you have that partnership, so you require agreement. If you are having that particular shop on rented or lease, then you require that particular agreement. Okay, all those things will cover under the schedule N. Okay, then schedule O, that is nothing but standard for disinfected fluids. Okay, so whatever the disinfected fluids which cover the phenyl and all other things which come under the schedule O. Okay, then schedule P, that is nothing but life period of drug. Okay, so whatever the drugs are there for their shelf life or half life. Okay, so all those things will be covered under the schedule P. Okay, the next thing you have that schedule P1. Okay, So it will nothing but pack size of certain drug. Okay, so how much, see, you will see many of drug. Okay, some of most of the drugs are in a packet size of 10. Okay, some drug you will see 15, some drug you will see 20. Okay, and some of the drugs are also there, you can see 30 in a one strip. Okay, so all will be deal with under the schedule P1. Okay, then you have schedule Q. Okay, it will be covered as a list of coal tar colors permitted to be used in the drug and cosmetic. Okay, so whatever the different color will be there, like for herbal things or any synthetic one, so what are their requirement? Okay, or what are their quantity? Okay, should be permitted or should be used in the any of cosmetic preparation, it will be covered under the schedule Q. Because what will happen, some of the color, okay, or synthetic color which will contain the heavy metal like arsenic, lead, okay, or any other thing, so they will be should not be having the toxicity or any harmful effect to the any person's skin. Okay, so always there will be a prescribed quantity into a ppm. Okay, so there will be a less amount will be permitted for any kind of cosmetic preparation. Okay, then you have schedule R. Okay, so schedule are nothing but standards for contraceptive made by rubber, latex for single use and other mechanical contraceptives. So what are all the contraceptive will be there? They will be covered under the schedule R. Okay. Then schedule R1 nothing but standard for medical devices. Okay. So whatever the standard requirement will be there for any kind of manufacturing of medical device, it will be covered under the schedule R1. Okay. Then schedule S, it will be nothing but standards for cosmetics. So what are the requirement you require? Say you require something what you call which of the agent you require or what kind of preparation you are doing for the cosmetic. Okay, so all those things will be covered under the schedule S. Then you have schedule U and U1. So U nothing but particular to be shown in manufacturing and analytical record of drug, and U1 nothing but particular to be shown in manufacturing records of cosmetic. Okay, so this both will be in pertaining to the documentation. Okay, so whatever preparation you are doing, for example, if you are dealing with the drugs or any kind of preparation like for allopathy, homeopathy, Unani and Siddha, so whatever the you are maintaining the records, it will be covered under the schedule U. And for the cosmetic, for the same thing, record should be covered under the schedule U1. Okay. The next thing you have that schedule V. So it is nothing but standard for patent and proprietary medicines and for patent and proprietary medicine which contain the vitamins. Okay. So like patent and proprietary drug, whatever will be there, for example any kind of allopathy drug, homeopathy or all those things, or some of the preparation which contain the vitamins, it will cover under the schedule V. Okay, then schedule W. Okay, so list of drug which shall be marketed under generic name only. Okay, so schedule W is, I think it is the most in the trend. Okay, at present, because most that pharmacy Jan Aushadhi. Okay, so Jan Aushadhi, or and nowadays in many of in hospital government doctors, those who are government hospitals, so their doctors should not allow to write any brand name of the any particular drug. Okay, they are only allowed to write generic name, nothing but what are the composition of drug, they should write only that thing. Okay, they are not allowed to write any brand name, especially for the government hospital doctor. Okay, and whenever you go to the or visit to the Jan Aushadhi store, so there you will find any kind of drug. Okay, it could be any preparation you, if you take for the hypertension. Okay, so now drug name will be not like as a, for example, I'll give you just brand name like amlodipine, atenolol, or something like Losar. Okay, so there you will find only losartan, potassium, amlodipine, atenolol, metoprolol. Okay, so these are the called as a generic name. Okay, and doctor will also, because to cut down the commission from like the practice which are which were doing by the manufacturer industry and between the doctors, so they will give them the commission. Okay, to write their brand. Okay, so what will happen to look after this matter? So central authority body and irrespective the state governments, okay, they will come with the one conclusion that doctor should write only generic name, whatever the availability will be there with the pharmacy store, they will give that particular brand. It will be not restrict to the only single brand. Okay, so they, it is what come under the schedule W. Okay, then you have schedule X, that is nothing but list of habit forming, psychotropic and other such drug. Okay, so this again will consider as one of the important schedule, because what will happen, many of drug like habit forming, psychotropic, the example for sleeping pill, alprazolam and phenobarbital. Okay, so other psychotropic substance, you know, like this phenobarbital, sodium, ultra short barbiturates. Okay, so all these drug will be there. When you go to buy this particular product, you can make a difference. Okay, you can identify, say how it will be having the difference between the other drug and schedule X drug. See, you will see on their label that what you will see on their label, you will see a red color line. Okay, 1 centimeter red color line you will see, and they will be mentioned like normally other for other drug. Okay, no, which are not
हाँ
coming
जी।
under this category, for that it will mention as RX. Okay, but for this narcotic and psychotropic substance, it will be mentioned as a NRX. Okay, so this is how you can make a difference between the general allopathy drug and different like between the habit forming and psychotropic substance. Okay, so RX and NRX, if you see, you can generally make the difference. Okay, which this will come, and there will be also in the box, this is the schedule X drug, it should be taken only under the prescription of registered medical practitioner. Okay, it will be having the red color box. Okay, so apart from that, one more thing will be covered under this schedule. See, whenever any doctor will prescribe any of these drug, habit forming or psychotropic, so what pharmacy people should do? They should retain the prescription in a form of a Xerox. Okay, and they should make this bill. Okay, in a triplicate form. One they should preserve, one they will give to the patient, and one if any time some inquiry will be there, or some like when you are stocking this particular drug, so sometime there will be cross uh, query will be there, so you can retain that bill and you can send that particular bill. And this all document you have to preserve at minimum 3 years and maximum 5 years with you. After that 5 years you can discard. Okay, so this is what will cover under the schedule X. Okay, then you have the schedule Y. Okay, so schedule Y nothing but it will having the requirement and guidelines for clinical trial, import and manufacture of the new drug. Okay, so whatever clinical trial will be done into the country, or what are the some of the new drugs which are manufacturing or importing, so all for all those things you have to follow the schedule Y. Okay, so schedule Y especially deal with the new drug and clinical trial. Okay, so in this you have to follow first of all that I'll give you one example. See, example, just now in beginning of the class, I told you that one of the Indian-based, Hyderabad-based company, Bharat Biotech, they are got the approval for the first for the COVID-19 vaccine. Okay, so they are now got the approval today that they are going for the human clinical trial. Okay, so whatever the guidelines will be there. For example, guidelines nothing but wherever you are performing this clinical trial, okay, or in the that COVID-19 patient or whoever there, and then simultaneously you should have placebo. Okay, so there where you are doing the clinical trial, you should have that thing like before initiating clinical trial, you should take the informed consent to that particular patient, those who are part of the your clinical trial study. Okay, the second thing, it could be a single centric trial or multi-centric trial means whether you conduct this clinical trial into a single hospital or you will perform this clinical trial to the multiple hospital. Okay, then third thing, what is the type of your clinical trial? Either it could be a control trial, randomized trial, okay, bias based trial, or whatever. Okay, so this is again you have to be mention. Okay, the next thing you will mention as per the schedule why I'm telling, then next thing, wherever you are conducting clinical trial, there must be a PI, means principal investigator should be there. Okay, that Bharat Biotech is the is the sponsor in case of if we are talking for the clinical trial. Okay, so that particular company or any particular person who want to be conduct their clinical trial, that person should be called as a sponsor. Okay, then they in wherever in hospital you are conducting, it should be having the principal investigator. Okay, the principal investigator should be MD pharmacology. Okay, you remember this. Okay, that person should be a MD pharmacology, and then followed by this, there should be like you can tell, you can consider like all particular staff like nursing staff, pharmacy staff, and sometime what will happen if situation goes worst. Okay, so there should be a particular medical staff who can handle the condition properly if there is any severe adverse effect or any event will be there, so they can control that particular patient. Okay, then you have one of the thing again in the schedule Y, which is called as a health insurance portability act will be there, HIPAA. Okay, so that person who will be a part of your clinical trial, that person should be covered under the insurance. Okay, so all whatever the requirement will be there, or what are the phases, like phase 4, 1 2 3 4. Okay, so all these 4 phases should be done as per the guidelines. Okay, in phase 1 you require only minimum amount of patient where you are looking for